Have you ever just wanted to buy a Mac but just don't know whether to get a desktop or a laptop?
Yes!
Both are very powerful pieces of machinery, so it's safe to say that buying a Mac isn't necessarily the easiest decision, and there are so many things to think about, like how often you're going to use it, how intense your workload is going to be, whether it's functional for your lifestyle or not, or whether you just like to multitask whilst also trying to hide your history from your mom. I won't judge. Well, today I'm going to be pinning the 16-inch MacBook Pro with the 21-inch iMac from 2019 to see which one is...
Shut up and take my money!
Buying an iMac isn't for everybody, and in my opinion, buying an iMac is best suited for professionals who are really into their work and people who aspire to be in a field, whether they are graphic designers, content creators, or editors, or just doing simple things like trying to finish your uni assignments on time. But honestly, it really ranges in any direction. So let's take a deep dive. Convenience. The MacBook Pro has a lot of pros. Comparing to the iMac, the MacBook has a lot of pros, and one of those pros are being able to travel to different places and take your work with you. It just makes it much more convenient to be able to store and save your work and continue wherever you go. Comparing to the iMac, I think that there is less compromise in terms of power and performance for the sake of portability. Instead of always relying on an SSD or an external hard drive, you can take your work anywhere you go. Processing power. The base MacBook Pro now comes with a 2.6 GHz, 6-core, 9th generation Intel Core i7 Turbo Boost of up to 4.5 GHz with 16 gigabytes, 2666 megahertz DDR4 memory, and a 512 gigabyte SSD memory. Christ almighty. Honestly, try saying that 6 times fast. The 16-inch model delivers a powerful kick, giving you a bang for its buck, especially when it comes to processing capabilities due to an amazing Intel Core processor and a dedicated AMD graphics processor, or graphics card, whatever you choose. The base model has an Intel i3 3.6 GHz quad-core processor, 8 gigabytes of 2400 megahertz of configurable RAM, and a 1 terabyte drive for storage. Now let's talk about the screen. The 16-inch MacBook Pro has a new Retina display with 500 nits of brightness that promises to deliver brighter whites and deeper blacks with the precise alignment of liquid crystal molecules. Now for the MacBook Pro, it has a 21.5-inch 4K Retina display. However, this machine has larger bezels, so it kind of gets distracting from time to time. Now let's talk about the peripherals. Oh god, the peripherals. The MacBook Pros that launched in 2016 came with a new keyboard featuring the butterfly mechanism. However, I think that the idea was literal dog water. I mean, it had a poor tactile response and it had even worse key travel when typing. I'm really glad that they had changed it. I can't believe that we had to pull a complaint to these guys. Basically just doing another Snyder Cut. With a 16-inch MacBook Pro, Apple has introduced the redesigned Magic Keyboard based on the scissor style switches instead of the butterfly mechanism. Thank God. That gave a better tactile feedback and longer key travel, as well as a well-balanced off-axis pressing. Note that the touch bar remains on the top center portion of the keyboard for shortcuts, easy access to apps, and specified gestures or controls. The device also features an Apple-branded fingerprint-based biometric Touch ID authentication. And the trackpad, I love the trackpad because it's so versatile and you can use it for so much more than just clicking. The Magic Keyboard really isn't my speed. It doesn't really hit the spot like the MacBook Pro's keyboard. I find that the keys are clicky and clunky and doesn't have that much key travel. Because of its slowed down design, it kind of makes you feel like I'm typing on the desk. And that isn't exactly what you want for hours as a content creator or an editor. By the way, shout out Tommy Hopkins, because he helps me edit my videos. I wouldn't be here without him. Why am I being soppy all of a sudden? This. Alright, here we go. So this doohickey sits at 4 to 10 millimeters off the table, making your wrists feel like they're kind of going through a strength and conditioning workout. Nevertheless, it's not all that bad. I mean, some people don't even have a problem with this thing. The Magic Mouse 2 is great because it's light and it's durable and it connects to the iMac very easily because of the ecosystem. The cons of the 16-inch 2019 MacBook would be the overheating problem. When it's not on a flat surface, say you're on a bed or you're just trying to either get some work done or binge a TV series with your really sad, boring lives, it just tends to overheat. I don't think the design has been completely optimized for that kind of usage just yet. Even though the build does allow for fans and airflow to go through, it kind of lacks in that area. Another drawback would be the pause. The pause. So, the MacBook Pro only has 4 USB-C ports instead of a variety of ports like the standard USB. Don't you just miss it? Waking up that morning and noticing that, you know what, everything's fine. It's sunny outside, it's beautiful, the birds are singing, and you're using your really powerful laptop with a USB-A port. And then the next morning, all of a sudden, the next powerful thing has 4 USB-C ports. And then you have to go back to the Apple store and shell out £19 for another one. Do you have £19? But I understand that the USB-C is the future of transferring data with the whole fast charging capabilities and everything else, but at least try to ease us into it. But the iMac is out here with a solid number of ports, and it's genuinely getting the work done. The back features a headphone jack, an SD card, and 4 USB 3.0 slots, and 2 Thunderbolt 3 ports. Honestly, all this information, I'm struggling out here. Please subscribe. It's so difficult. Okay, but alright. And the RJ45 Ethernet port and a Kensington lock slot. I don't even know what that is, but it has it. Should be enough to connect the system to like pretty much anything. It's a real struggle because it feels like Apple is deliberately making you pay more money for things that you should already have. And there's nothing you can do about it because everything you're gonna get is from Apple. And all you wanna do is be a part of the ecosystem. You can't walk away from things like that. They are literally ripping money from you. Capitalism at its finest. Have you ever just thought about that? Do you know how deep that shit is? Wow. But anyway, if you want a clear answer on whether the iMac or the MacBook Pro is a better option for you, you just gotta ask yourself the question whether it's outside you're gonna be or if you're an inside person. If you're gonna be traveling to work or just staying home and working from home. Of course, like a lot of people are gonna be working from home. We're in a massive pandemic, so I'd advise you to stay home, guys. Keep safe. Don't go outside. And also, it doesn't matter. They both do the same thing in reality. But I am so glad that you guys have been here throughout the video. I hope you enjoyed all the facts and everything that I have put together. I appreciate you listening to this video, and I hope that you found your answer in terms of which one is better, which one you prefer. I've been AB. You guys have been awesome. That's the end of the video. Just cut the shit.